Welcome to the 411, folks. Episode 42. My name is Scott, and I am here with the fab Jake.
Thanks.
We are back, and we are ready to talk video games. Jake, how has your week been?
Big week. Video game related this time. You're right there.
Oh,
Please sip away from the mic. We've talked
That
about
coffee
this.
is hot.
And that was a loud sip. You don't sip like that. I feel like you get the microphone in front of you. And you...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a big week. Everything video game related, and we'll talk about that soon. But very good stuff to talk to.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear as well because it was this time. What's it called again? The thing that you went to on the weekend?
RTX.
RTX. What's it stand for?
Rooster Teeth Convention.
Right.
Expo. Rooster Teeth Expo.
Expo. Yeah, I remember you went to it last year as well, and that's I think it was episode 2 of The Grind when you talked about RTX.
Oh, flashback.
Yeah, and then it was a few weeks after we started this podcast. So.
Oh, we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary. Should do something special.
Coming up, February 26th, I believe, is our 1 year.
When's Valentine's Day? 14th.
14th.
Oh,
yeah.
Could have been nice.
Why? If it's on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Weird.
Special. Please.
Sorry.
No, yeah. RTX.
Good coffee though. Nothing like a hot cup of joe.
This time of day as well is just awful.
I say that every single time I drink a coffee now. Nothing like a hot cup of joe.
It sounds
What
like
are you
something.
talking about? This time of the day is coffee time. 4:30 in the afternoon. Coffee time.
No, thank you. Second time I went to RTX. Last year was called RTX Australia. This year RTX Sydney. Just a little bit of a rebranding. Essentially, we'll talk about it more as the show goes on. But big things happened.
Did you get any exclusives like you did last year with the Doom? Because you got to play Doom before it came out.
Yeah. No, nothing like that. But I did also get to play Halo Wars 2.
Ooh.
But that was open to everyone, so I wouldn't call that
Yeah.
exclusive.
Nice.
So yeah.
Awesome. All right, we'll definitely get into that. But first off, is first off what we've been playing? Yeah, it always is. Okay, what we've been playing. Have you had any time to play anything this week?
I haven't. I guess
Again, that's 2 weeks in a row.
It's pretty bad, isn't it? Sorry, but I managed to play Street Pass because RTX is all about them Street Passes.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of that.
Yeah.
Does that count?
So what does that mean? What?
Street Pass is so pointless, but it's like the people you meet. You go to that Street Pass app in your 3DS,
Yeah.
and you play.
Which I've never used.
Really? Oh, you don't Street Pass.
I think it makes a cool sound when your icon goes on it or something.
It goes green.
Mm.
And yeah, you can like make 3D puzzles. You like as you pass people, you pick up a puzzle piece and stuff like that. And
Do they play with you, or you just unlock things?
it's just like a autonomous kind of thing because you ran into that person. I don't know. It's cool. Like experiencing the 3DS of what it's like fully able to do, even though it's pretty pointless in a completionist kind of way. But I like it. Whatevs. That's it. What about you?
I started a new game, Jake. Walking Dead Season 2.
Oh.
So, it was only recently that I finished Season 1, and I've always knew that I was going to play Season 2. It was just a matter of when, because I really didn't want to play it straight after Season 1, because I'd burn out. But, yeah, I waited a bit, got back into it, and now I am into it. I'm about halfway through Episode 2. Still, Telltale, like, my favourite games come from Telltale. They're amazing. And it's right at the time where I don't really feel like getting deep into a game where I have to play lots and everything. Because Walking Dead Season 2 is a lot of just answering, just dialogue. There's not much. I haven't really played much. Whereas Season 1 was a lot of me walking around really slowly, by the way. Your character moves really slowly. And walking around trying to connect puzzles and everything. And every single time it would give you the option to just talk to everybody in the camp and everything. It would take a long time. But Season 2, the episodes are going really quickly because there's none of that. It takes all that stuff out of having to walk around, talk to people, and then do the puzzles and everything. It's just a lot of action scenes, cut scenes, and then you talking, which, is a lot better It's a lot more fast paced and more interesting.
Nice.
And also it gives you the option to walk faster in this one, which is big.
Big deal.
You've played? You haven't played
Season 1.
You played season 1, yeah. All of it?
Halfway.
Oh, okay.
It was on my old 360, then
Mhm.
I got halfway through it, then I bought an Xbox One, so
Mm.
of course I forgot I'll never touch it again.
Yeah.
Cool.
One thing, because now I'm so into Telltale at the moment. Their Back to the Future game that came out a while ago, is that any good?
Probably not.
Because I haven't heard anything on that.
That was one of their very first.
Really? I thought that was like last year or a couple of years ago.
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, okay.
It was one of their very first.
Oh, wow.
So
So-
I doubt you can really pick it up. Maybe on Steam.
I wouldn't touch it then if it was
No.
one of the first. Because I don't want to go back to this Walking Dead season 1 style.
No. Well, the season 3's been announced. It's coming out soon.
Yes. Well, I think episode 1 and 2 and 3 might be out already.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
1 and
wow.
2 are definitely out.
Far out. There you go.
So-
I've heard nothing about it though.
No, I haven't heard much either, but I know I know Clementine is in it because you see it in all the screenshots in the front cover.
She's a bit older.
A bit older, just like in season 2, I think she's a year and a half older, and this one maybe another year, maybe a couple years older.
That spoils it a bit for you because Clementine survives now.
Yeah, well, in number 2 you play as Clementine, so I kind of expect her to survive. In number 1, you don't play as Clementine, so you're not sure. But it's still, for season 2, I saw her on the front cover, so... But in season 3, you don't play as Clementine, which I found out.
Oh.
So it's kind of a downer, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I suppose you're playing as someone new every single time.
I'm not big on the Walking Dead's franchise, but the
You
feeling...
need to borrow them.
I
Take
do.
season 1 home tonight.
I absolutely do need to watch them. The feeling I get from it is it's just a one big event, and sure you might be with the same people, characters, but you play from different perspectives. Play or watch or read, however many many things The Walking Dead is in. But there was that Walking Dead Michonne series.
yeah.
That's a whole nother.
And that's what I want to get into as well, that thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like it's just storytelling in the same event, but in different areas with different people,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, Walking Dead, there's been so many things about it, but I think the world is just so... It's such a good world for storytelling. Like, you can tell so many stories in that world. And that's what they do with The Walking Dead Season 1. There's an extra episode, a bonus one, where it's called 400 Days. And it's literally like 6 mini episodes of 6 different stories.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, about all these people. And they're all really good as well. You can tell so many good stories from that world.
I've heard that in that too, because you play as different people, but in some way it all reconnects to the bigger picture a little bit, like foreshadowing a little bit.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And that's why they made a spin-off series called Fear the Walking Dead as well, which I heard isn't as great. But that sets it in a different place in California, whereas the main one is in...
All right, big fan.
Louisiana?
Don't ask me.
It's been a while since I've seen the show, but the game I know is in Louisiana, so
Okay.
it's like, the hillbilly Texas kind of style place.
Louisiana is not in Texas.
Texas style, I said.
Okay.
But anyway, it's I'm kind of getting a bit over that setting because you're playing in it in the games and you're watching it in the show. I think, it wouldn't be bad to get into the Fear the Walking Dead. I'd like to see a different country, really. Because really, even in the show, you don't know what's happening anywhere else in the world. They don't talk about any other areas in the world.
Well, how would they know?
Exactly. But, it's just kind of weird, like, is it only in America? So
Interesting.
far, it is. We don't know.
That's a good point. I remember there being another series like that where I wanted to know what happened to the remainder of the world. Some kind of apocalyptic thing. But they
A TV show?
I don't know.
Was it 28 days later or 28 weeks later?
No, I never watched that.
Because they showed a lot about the world, I think.
Mm.
They go to France and all that in Japan.
See, I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
What else? Did I play anything else? No, I didn't play anything else. I got scared actually the other day. I turned my PS3 on and just to play a bit of rugby league, and it made the loudest fucking noise ever, and it just wouldn't stop. So I turned it off and it stopped. So I'm getting scared, Jake.
That PS3 is pretty new.
It is. It's the newer version. I got it in 2018, I think I got it. Yeah, I got it in the same year that I got my Xbox One, so 2013.
Does it sit in the heat?
No, it's in a room on a shelf. The sun doesn't hit that wall though; it's the other wall.
Maybe it was
The
just a
opposite.
really hot day. Couldn't hack it.
It was last night. It was during the night time. It wasn't that hot.
Don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know. Scary stuff though.
Don't know. Maybe it's a bit dusty in there.
Could be. I need to give it a blow. The old N64 blow.
You know, biggest lie ever.
Mm.
Not lie,
Worked.
misconception.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And still sort of treading along with Sun and Moon, even though I haven't picked it up in a week. And really want to get back into Xenoblade Chronicles. I've been doing a lot of work this week, study. And in the background, I've got lots of Nintendo music playing. There's this really cool YouTube channel. His name is Luigi, and he has all these Nintendo music videos of just music in the background. And
he got the YouTube name Luigi.
Yes, just Luigi.
Wow.
It's crazy. And there's quite a lot of videos of it's called calming and relaxing Nintendo music.
I've listened to those. They're freaking awesome.
And he's got 3 up now, so 75 minutes each. And I've just been listening to them. And there's a few Xenoblade Chronicles ones in there. The music is just, because I've played about 10 hours of the game now, it's just so nostalgic and it just wants me to get back in there. How good is that when you listen to music from a game, it just you want to get back in there?
100%. Get that with Zelda all the time.
And there's heaps of Zelda titles in that video as well, so...
Same with Mario Galaxy. Man.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
A song that I haven't heard in a long time was Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road, and that's in there as well.
Yeah, that's pretty chill.
Oh, it's so good. Brought me right back to my childhood.
Mm.
And then it made me listen to the entire Mario 64 soundtrack. Mario Kart 64 soundtrack. Not as great as I remembered.
Oh, really?
Rainbow Road's the only, good one, I think.
No.
Or nice one.
Remember that Toad Highway one being pretty cool? No. Anyway. So what's been happening this week?
Yeah, news. Things that have caught our eye. The one thing that I had, we both got one each. The one thing that I had was the announcement of Dirt 4.
Oh, I missed that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dirt 4 announced.
I just bought Dirt Rally, though.
Yeah, but I don't think Dirt Rally was supposed to be,
I know.
continuing, an actual dirt game.
Yeah.
Dirt Rally was fucking hard.
It's
So I think
difficult.
Dirt 4 might go back to its old roots of, not that challenging, not as realistic, not like a car simulator.
Yeah. That's why, oh, man. Part of me regrets buying Dirt Rally, but I also like the challenge of it a little bit, the methodical satisfaction of it.
Of
But
having to memorize the course
yeah.
turn by turn.
Yeah, having to... It's like Dark Souls, having
Yeah.
1 hour per course kind of thing. And, but then looking at Forza Horizon stuff, I'm like, maybe I just want that because it's just fun and dumb.
Yeah.
But-
Forza Horizon 3 is so accessible to anyone.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those mainstream games that anyone can pick it up, and that's probably the car game that I'd get into. I told everybody, I say this all the time, that I have a list of Xbox One games that I want to buy, and I put Dirt 4 on there. Then I quickly got rid of it because I remembered Dirt Rally, and then I remembered my time with Dirt 2. Like, that's the only other Dirt game I've had. And Dirt games are really challenging. Like, even if it's not Dirt Rally, the other games are challenging. So I kind of just, because I haven't had a car game in so long. It's been since Dirt 2.
They're good. They're just awesome games to just zone out, but
Yeah.
you can have something on in the background too. And
But it's got to be easier. So I think Forza Horizon is one of those games that I need to get into, maybe.
Sure. No.
Yeah.
Dirt 4, when? This year?
I think so, yeah. It had the front cover. It's like this, going for the orange look. Dirt 2 was green. Dirt 3 was blue. Now it's orange.
I remember the original Colin McRae Dirt.
Yes,
That was fantastic.
it was.
Yeah, cool. All right, nice. Well, my piece of news is that ABC's quality video gaming show that's been going on for 10 years, just surpassed the 10-year mark. Good game. Been cancelled.
Was it the same hosts for 10 years?
No.
Oh, okay.
So the first season
So,
started off
yeah.
with 2 people that only lasted 1 season.
Yeah.
Then they got season 2, 2 brand new people. That was Baijo and this other guy called shoot. I can't remember. He wasn't memorable. He only lasted, I think, two seasons, and then Hex came on for the remaining 7. But yeah, lots of controversy about this. More details have revealed themselves that Hex and Nick Richardson, the guy who ran the online component, the Good Game Pocket, which was the YouTube element to Good Game that had daily content of Let's Plays and interviews and shit. Him and Hex picked up a Channel 7 deal and then left the ABC. Thanks.
Sorry. Coffee went down wrong. Yep. Continue.
That was it. Any comment?
Well, what are they doing on Channel 7 now?
Few details have been revealed, but it's going to be a similar style of video game.
So there's still going to be a show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably different to what Good Game would be. You know, maybe a less reviewy type of show.
Less childish?
Childish?
No, what, isn't there like a robot who speaks to them? And
That's
stuff
on
like
that's on the kids version of the show, and that actually is still continuing.
There's a kids version and a different version?
There was the main show called Good Game on ABC2, and then a kids version called Good Game Spore Point on Saturdays on ABC3
Oh, right.
with the robot, and it's more aimed towards younger gamers.
I think I only saw the robot version. That's why I was like, this show's crap.
No, I would have shown you clips and stuff of the regular show, because regular show obviously...
But it's still the same 2 hosts, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the kids show is going to continue with Baijo and this other girl called Rad, and the robot, which I find a little strange. And Hex, one of the main hosts, revealed a statement today of essentially why the ABC could have continued on. Good Game could have continued on without Hex, and but the ABC just had no, I guess, had no pride or had no
Pride.
it just didn't believe in the brand anymore.
Yeah.
Even after 10 years, even though how much it got built up and how much of a community it built up, there's probably just no longer a niche for it. Everyone's, I guess, but they still try to outbuild themselves, even though less and less people watch things on TV. They still tried their hand at online. More and more people turn to YouTube and online for their gaming sources, which you and I do, obviously.
Yeah.
So they tried their
It's just
hand
more
on
accessible, really.
Absolutely. So they tried their hand on online with this Nick Richardson dude, who I find quite annoying. But and it seemed like it worked, and they built up a really good community of daily content and real cool Let's Plays and live streams and stuff. But clearly, it didn't work.
Well, the show went for half an hour, like half-an-hour shows, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
During that half an hour, how many games would they sort of talk about and show gameplay of?
It could be 3 games, let's say 3 games maximum, and they could be like 1 small indie game and 2 AAA titles. And still in that, they would drop a little bit of gaming news and maybe a feature that their field reporter would go out and do, maybe, or like a
It was weekly?
Yes.
See, I must have watched some pretty bad examples, though, because like the shows that I saw, I didn't see any games that I sort of knew. They were all really sort of...
That's actually what I quite enjoyed about it. Some weeks they would hit all the AAA games every summer and stuff, but they would also tackle a lot of indie games, a lot of Australian-made games as well, which I actually, in hindsight, really enjoyed because it showed a whole bunch of games that I would have never ever seen or picked up. Games that, like, for example, one that they were the first ones to show me that game DayZ, which is maybe not so much anymore, but was a huge phenomenon. And same with this other game called War of the Vikings. Just real cool online PC games that they tackled that not many other people did. So
what did you think of the hosts?
I like Hex.
Who's Hex?
The female.
Okay.
And I met her at last year's RTX, and she was really cool.
Yeah.
And Bajo is pretty annoying. He was the guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty annoying, but like he's also, I don't know, he knew his stuff as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've always had a something against that guy ever since I watched his review on Rugby League Live 2.
Well, clearly,
He's clearly a man who does not enjoy the sport of rugby league.
clearly not.
And then he does the review on it, just so biased, just against the game, and doesn't appreciate anything about it. So he gives it a really low score.
Well, I think you are the only one who likes it in the first place.
Hey, let's not go there.
No, it would be missed. I guess it was tough for them as a weekly show on TV to keep things relevant and moving. For example, a game would come out and their review might be 2 weeks late, depending on how their production schedule would end up. And then one of my also favorite parts of Good Game would be that their E3 specials every year. Hex and Bajo would take turns to travel to LA to cover the E3 convention, and then they would present a 1 hour special maybe 2 weeks after E3. And
but it's old news by then.
Sure, but I still, their take on it, their perspective, and how they did E3 was entirely different to how pretty much every other presenter and media outlet did E3. So it was a really different.
It's like us sometimes when we talk about games. It's like we've played it for the first time, but it's like a year old. So we're like giving it a review, but it's like,
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. At least they'll all stay on TV, regardless of which station or what it is. But Good Game, the brand, is really just buried now, and it's a bit of a shame. Shame for the Australian gaming scene.
Yeah. Bring back the Cheese TV guys, and they can do one.
Yeah, be interesting.
Those guys would be cool. Jade and Ryan,
they're getting old.
They're still cool.
You live it in the past.
This is about the time when we bring in water cooler conversations. This is just a failing segment, isn't it?
I told you it shouldn't be a weekly. It should just be whenever something just.
I'm going to bring it up
happens.
every week. Is there anything for water cooler conversations this week?
Yeah, I feel like there was Resident Evil talk.
Okay, so for those who don't know, water cooler conversations is when Jake, he works in an office every week, and he overhears some stupid conversations about some noobs talking about games who they don't know what they're talking about. So, yeah, go ahead, Jake.
So this is going to be pretty, not word for word. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing here.
Okay.
But they were talking about how not scary Resident Evil is.
I agree with them, but continue.
Incorrect. Resident Evil was freaky. I watched people playing it in VR last night, and it's still
VR is a different story.
Oh man. And yeah, they were just saying how not scary it was, and they were like, "Yeah, I really should have to try it in VR. Then it would be scary." Like, yeah, it will be scary. But they were just saying how the Resident Evil franchise is so messy. Like they can't keep up with the story of the movies and the video games. But
you don't need to pay attention to the movies at all.
No, that's
you
what
don't really
I found.
need to pay attention to the story of the games. Just play it for the experience.
That's what really grinded my gears. They just it was just a real purist about things, and it's like, oh, the movies are all about now. Like,
what a Nazi!
Wow, racist. Yeah, that's what really annoyed me. He's like, yeah, I don't even know how Resident Evil 7 ties in. It shouldn't be named Resident Evil 7.
That's what I said last week. It shouldn't be named.
No, because you've seen the end of it now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well,
have you seen it now?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I've heard. No, I've been.
Are you close? Like, are you more further along? So we can talk about at least some more things.
No. I'm up to They're in the little dingy part of the backyard now. So they're fighting. They're trying to get away from the mum.
Okay. So you're not up to the boss fight with the mum?
No. With the mum, it seems like more of a stealth-based thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what when they put the videotape, the Mia videotape.
Yeah.
That was a real stealth.
Yeah.
So I thought that would just get you used to what's about to come up.
Again, like I said before, that's sort of just to explore the layout of the land.
Sure.
So yeah, but can we just talk about the boss fight with the mum?
No, Scott.
Just one comment.
No. I'm not liking this. You're ruining the game for me. Anyway, it's actually interestingly, I read a Kotaku review of someone who watched Resident Evil and they reviewed it. They wrote a written review of a video game
There
they
you go.
watched.
So it can be done.
I'm not. I don't know. It's interesting, and obviously all the comments were negative. Like, oh, you didn't play the game. You don't have to write.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we had any listeners at all, our comments would be negative as well.
I'm a bit on the fence about that. So I don't know. Interesting that a big outlet like Kotaku can just do whatever they want. Obviously. Anyway, that's water cooler conversations for the week.
Well, it's disappointing that we can't even talk about Resident Evil anymore.
We'll get there, Scott.
Just
I'm taking my time with it. It's spooky.
get into it.
A few more parts have been released. Yes. Achievement Hunter. They take the time
What? A few more parts.
of the Resident Evil.
So the video you're watching hasn't even been completed yet.
No. They release 2 parts a week, I think.
That's slow.
I like that. Paces it out.
I like that. Let's get into our topic of the week.
Yep.
What, we're a bit early?
Doesn't have to be on time.
All right, our topic for the week is RTX Sydney.
You should really come along next time.
Well, you didn't invite me. I had no idea. I probably would have come.
No, you don't like Rooster Teeth. You would have nothing to do.
I've never like sort of interacted or watched anything to do with Rooster Teeth. So
You should.
what do you mean I wouldn't know what to do? What do you do?
Because it's just all Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, so you go there and what?
They have panels. So the personalities have panels on different productions they do, or there's a Achievement Hunter panel, just called the Achievement Hunter panel. They take questions, Q&As from the audience.
Did you question?
I did not. Because everyone...
Where's the scoop?
What am I trying to find? Everyone who puts up their hand, like 100 people, more than 100 people put up their hand. Obviously, I'm never going to get picked. And the questions they asked are not hard-hitting questions. So here's my gripe with RTX Sydney. They changed venues from last year. So last year was at the Australian Technology Park or something in Sydney, and it's an old factory where they build trains and locomotives. So there's no air conditioning. It was huge, but there was no air conditioning. It was a very weird place to hold a convention of that size. So it was a good decision to move to the new convention center in Sydney. But they did sell too many tickets. Because while the venue was nice and the big show floor was big and spread out, the theaters where they held the panels could only hold... One theater could hold up to 900 people, another theater could hold 700 people or something. And the other stage was the main stage that was on the show floor that everyone... There was no seats, you had to stand. So, and it felt like there were 2,500 kids there. So, clearly not a small margin of people could make it into these panels at one time. And wanting to get into the Achievement Hunter panel, we left like an hour early for what we were doing to go line up. And the line had already been capped an hour before we got there. So 2 hours before the panel was starting, the line had been capped for the amount of people that could go in. Same with, and there's the other asset to Rooster Teeth is Funhouse. And as Achievement Hunter was starting to line up, they were starting to line up people for Funhouse. So we thought, well, we missed out on that. May as well wait 2.5 hours for Funhouse. So we did. Waited 2.5 hours.
And you were there by yourself, weren't you?
No, I was with someone this year.
Oh, okay.
So that was okay. That's really my only gripe about it. They need to either... The venue was great and big, but I think they need to cut back on ticket sales, or if they know they're not going to fit everyone in the panels, put more big screen TVs around the place so they don't disappoint everybody, because as soon as you're not into the panel, there is no way of seeing that panel. And what'd you pay all that money for? Because people can just live stream it all day on Twitch. All the panels are live streamed on the Rooster Teeth Twitch channel. So if I'm going to get kicked out of not being able to be at panels, may as well just go home and watch it.
Yeah, and save a flight.
Exactly, to Sydney. That's really my own gripe.
It's just like going to a theme park, really. Too many people, too many lines.
Oh, so many
You
lines.
spend your whole day lining up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. So another big line was Nintendo had a really big presence here, and
was that like last year or not?
no? Nintendo had nothing to do with. This is what I'm liking about the new Nintendo.
Yeah,
Let's say the new Nintendo.
3DS.
They're getting out there. They're marketing. They're back to basics. They're just getting their name and this new Switch console out there. So they had it pretty much in the bang middle of the show floor. They had this big presence with a big circle thing that says Nintendo on it. And yeah, you had to line up because people wanted to play Zelda on Switch. And I got there.
Just before you get to that, I want to go back to when you were saying Nintendo's getting their name out there, marketing and everything. When do you think it's going to be? When do you think kids are going to know about Nintendo Switch? Because kids still don't know about it.
Really?
Well, in Australia, they don't know about it. There's obviously no advertisements on TV or anything. There's nothing you can find in anywhere really. Unless you go searching for it.
Yeah, I don't know about TV. I don't watch TV, but at least there was a big Nintendo ad in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl today, so that's huge.
That's huge, yeah. Not for Australia though.
No, but I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe they just do they disregard Australia?
I don't
We're
know.
a small market compared to America
We
and
are
Europe.
pretty tiny. Not many people live here, to be honest.
No.
We got 25 million people who live here. That's like one of the states in America. To be
Yeah.
honest. So anyway, you got your hands on a Nintendo Switch for the first time ever.
It was in my hands. I played it. I played Zelda.
So first before we get into Zelda, tell me about the controller. How did it feel?
So I played with the Joy-Con grip.
Is that the only thing you played with?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
obviously
didn't take them out?
no, weren't allowed to.
Weren't allowed to. Okay. Weird.
So I played with the little red and blue ones. So Joy-Con grip is the Joy-Cons, but you like attach them to this little mini controller. So you're essentially holding a square.
And how mini is it?
It's actually surprising, and same with the console itself.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I was surprised how little it is. But in a good way. It fits surprisingly well. Say like I'm holding my hands up like now.
I heard the buttons were about as big as the 3DS buttons.
I would say a teensy bit bigger.
Okay.
But it felt good.
Felt comfortable.
Yeah.
For
Now
like 3 hours.
I don't know about that. I could only play for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I was about to say now compare it to something like an Xbox One controller, which is arguably one of the best controllers ever made.
Ooh. You're going to get backlash. Anyway, I agree.
It's a perfect controller.
Yeah, it's so comfortable.
It obviously doesn't compare to that. But in saying that, like whatever, it does its job, it's comfortable. What else more does it need to be? And it's versatile as hell. So
if that's not comfortable, you play it a different way.
Exactly. The fact that you can play in all these different ways, if you don't find one of them correctly, then
and then you can go buy the Pro controller.
Sure, which I think I will anyway.
Yeah.
But felt nice and
did you play it on the TV screen?
Yeah. Now they didn't have any like you couldn't take the Switch out and play it portable.
Sounds like you couldn't do much, really.
Well, they were weirdly. I don't. Even though it's good Nintendo getting out with the Switch out there and stuff, I don't like how they're promoting 1-2 Switch.
Oh, is that all over the place?
That was Nintendo. It was Zelda, and then you could line up and play 1-2 Switch.
That's so stupid. And who wants to play that shit?
I'm not liking this because that's not putting the Switch to its best capabilities.
Yeah.
Sure, it might use the HD Rumble or whatever the shit is, but
they just needed something else as well as Zelda. They just don't have anything else yet. Zelda's the only thing at launch that's really Nintendo really good. They just needed a Splatoon 2 or Mario Kart 8 there at launch.
Mario Kart 8 would have been really good.
And then you could have both games at, events like that.
Yeah.
Those two, But
anyway, yeah, I'm not understanding the 1-2 Switch stuff because I really don't think that's selling the Switch at all. I feel like it's just getting back to their Wii roots,
Yeah.
or maybe doing a call out to Wii, but I feel like they want to try and get away from that. Strange, but Zelda. Zelda's so good.
And what part did you play? The opening?
The opening, yeah. So it's just a very quick cutscene where Link wakes up.
Yeah.
And it pretty much, I'm sure there's like a little more, it pads it out a little more in the proper game, but it kind of skips you to out into the overworld.
Yeah.
And you're pretty much left to your own devices.
So how long does it take you to get to the open world? Is it like 10 minutes or something?
I'm like I've said, I'm sure there's more dialogue and cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, a minute.
Oh, really? See,
'Cause
I'm hoping it's like a good hour in that cave.
I hope an hour in the cave.
Well, where you start off.
Yeah.
It's a cave, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a good hour. Because I remember the opening to Elder Scrolls Oblivion, you start off like in a jail cell, and you escape from there, and you spend an entire hour trying to escape from this dark, dingy jail kind of thing, and then you get into the open world, and it looks all green and lush and everything.
I like that.
So it's pretty cool. You spend an hour in that dark bit.
Yeah. Same with the reveal of Ocarina of Time, the first reveal of Hyrule Field.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. It's perfect. And
Yeah.
not many people like the opening to Twilight Princess. They find it slow and boring, but I liked it because it was a real nice complimentary to the story, and once you finally get out, it really picks up. Anyway, but yeah, the first reveal of the overworld for Zelda, it looks so much better in person. Scott, you think it looks good now? You see it with your own eyes.
So what kind of TV were they using? Obviously, they're going to have settings in the TV like dedicated to make this game look as best as possible.
Sure.
So
yeah.
what are we talking about here? Obviously, had 4K TV.
Probably. Look, I'd probably say it's the TV on the wall we have here, which is how big?
That's the 40.
40. I'd say like, did I say like 38-inch TVs or some shit like that?
I think it goes from 32 to 40. What, did you think it was smaller than 40?
Yeah, maybe a teensy bit smaller than that.
Yeah, but maybe you were in a big place.
It was a big place, yeah.
So I'm guessing 40.
Okay. Well, either way, sure, they clearly made this game to look as beautiful as possible, and it worked.
What brand TV?
I think they hid that.
Really? Oh, okay.
For branding issues and shit like that. But no. So Zelda. So I got 20 minutes with it until the Nintendo man had to tap my shoulder and tell me to leave.
They give you a nice squeeze.
No, just a tap.
Okay.
No squeeze, just a tap. It would have been weird. And so I was left in the overworld to do as I please, collect weapons.
Was the Nintendo? So the guy who was there, he works for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Was he in your ear the whole time?
No. So they just
really
no.
That's
so
good.
There was about 5 or 6 TVs playing at one time.
Yeah.
And maybe 3 Nintendo assistants.
Yeah.
Just kind of ushering people in, make sure everyone's doing correctly.
Yeah.
If someone is clearly like doing something wrong in the game or lost or not knowing what to do, the Nintendo man will
Nintendo man.
all women will help you out and guide you in the right
kind of
direction.
just leave you.
Yeah,
that's good.
I like
good.
that.
Yeah,
I didn't want someone
because all
bugging
the
me.
sort of reviews I've heard about the Nintendo Switch presentation where they got to play the games the next day, they were so buggy. Like people are just in your ear saying what you can do this and everything. It's just like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, I liked how I was left with my own devices.
Yeah.
So I gathered weapons, I killed enemies, I gathered fruit, I crafting and just exploring.
And be honest, is it accessible to the mainstream, like, or is it just like very like so much things to do and these buttons to press that you got to learn, and
there is
there a learning curve?
There is a lot to do, and I'm sure the main game will be a little more, not linear, but
more explained.
As it will teach you things a little more
Bits by bit,
methodically. Yeah. But it's essentially a Skyrim Elder Scrolls overworld in a Zelda setting. And how cool does that sound?
It sounds cool.
And it is cool.
So, does it feel really smooth and everything is like...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I didn't encounter
any problems.
Any problems? No, it felt like, I don't know about frame rates too much. It felt like 60 frames the whole time.
Yeah.
It looks incredible.
And for your health, you have to sort of just cook your food and everything, and
Yeah,
so there's a lot of times where you're just cooking,
that doesn't
hunting.
yeah, it doesn't chew up too much of your time though.
And your weapons, I think, deteriorate over time, don't they? You have to.
That's
sort
if
of
you pick
get new
up.
weapons.
I think most weapons do.
Yeah.
I
I think if you buy them, they stay all right.
maybe I didn't
Yeah.
purchase anything. I was picking up a lot of enemy weapons, trying out a few things. I didn't get a bow and arrow or anything. It was just all swords and spears
So
and
you
stuff.
didn't do any missions for the stories or anything. You
No
just
missions.
Open world exploring.
Yep. And
so, do you think you could spend a lot of time just doing that?
I think so. If you want to really know the ins and outs of the overworld and get every collectible you can,
How far did you explore?
it felt I could see, in terms of the terrain that was around me, it felt kind of hilly and foresty. So I didn't really change terrains to like a desert or a snowy area, but I could see it in the distance. And that's what was really exciting because I know I can walk there.
Yeah.
I know I can climb that mountain.
Yeah.
And I did see structures and pillars and stuff. And I felt again I can go there too. It may have sectioned it felt close enough that I could walk to it in the demo, but it may have been blocked off.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But obviously it's a massive open world, like you're saying. But did it feel, full, or was it just kind of empty?
No. And I was just about to say, there are so few moments when I was struggling to find things to do. Even though 20 minutes is not a long time at all. Like, I would find a base of enemies. I would wipe them out. I'd collect all their resources. I would craft a little. I would manage my inventory a little bit. Do a little cleaning up. Do a little bit more exploring. And then over the next hill or something, I'd find another encampment of enemies. Or
Do they get annoying, the enemies? Like,
no, because what it seems like they're really strategic of how their placement in the world. And it seems like the items that you've got to collect, bombs, arrows, different types of weapons and abilities, you'll be able to, kind of like a Metal Gear situation where you can be stealthy about it. I'm not sure about stealthy, but as in like using your different items in ways that will benefit how quickly you kill off these enemies and stuff, and how efficient you can be about it. That sounds really exciting to me. In a again, like a Zelda, but not in a traditional JRPG, there's no leveling, so there's no point. You can just probably skip most enemies if you really want to, but then you'll have no benefit of collecting any weapons or collectibles and stuff like that. And I think you kind of need to do that to progress through the game, So yeah.
And you're getting this on launch.
Wii U.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not getting Switch on launch.
No.
You're waiting till Mario,
Yeah, I think so.
which is winter,
Our summer, I think.
our summer, so the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, our winter. Wait.
Our winter, which is June, July.
Oh, then I think it's our next summer.
Okay.
I don't know. Double check that.
Mm.
This is just Zelda. It ticked all the boxes. It's everything I wanted the Zelda to be. It's a real natural progression of what a Zelda game can be. And I was really afraid of how open the world is now, or what it was going to be. But it's perfect.
Perfect. 10 out of 10 from Jake.
Well, let's see how the story weighs up, and
yeah.
I don't know. It was such a perfect tease as well. 20 minutes, and they were like, I was really starting to get into it, really find my groove in the things, and they were like, okay, time's up. So,
Well, it's less than a month now.
yeah,
So what is it? 23. It's like 26 days away.
and I can wait. I could have not played that,
Yeah.
but the line at the time when I got there was only half an hour wait, and thankfully I got there when I did, because the line capped about 1 p.m. every day. So the floor opens from 10:30 till 5 every day, and they capped it at 1 p.m. each day. So
Have you pre-ordered?
yes, I have.
Cool. So what else at RTX? Is that your only story?
Well, I got to play Halo Wars 2.
Oh, that's right. Halo
One of my
Wars,
most intense. Is it funny? Two of my most
Yeah, yeah.
anticipated games there. And when I walked into RTX, they give you a little show bag, and I got a 20% off Halo Wars 2 code.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, Halo Wars 2. It was a pretty stripped back demo. Or trial, I guess you would say. Just a mode you could play called Blitz, and it's a never-ending wave mode in the RTS kind of style. Now, what they've changed with Halo Wars 2 is pretty cool. Halo Wars 1 was more about you have your little base, but you build it up with resources, and you build up barracks, or kind of like in a Rise of Nations style. You know, barracks and things that could build vehicles and tanks and stuff, or flying stuff, or a healing station and stuff like that. This is more about you have cards, and so you start off with a set base of units, but you go out and you find these little you destroy these things, and you pick up all these points and resources and stuff, and those resources go into the point value of your set of cards.
That's only in this mode, though, isn't it? With just the cards. Or is that a main game thing?
I think the cards are throughout the whole game, but I would still like to see the base management style come back.
Yeah.
Because I do enjoy that. And then cards can just be a variable kind of thing throughout the game. So I'm hoping for that. But the cards play a really interesting element, because obviously you can get like a Scorpion or a Warthog or some Marines in your cards, and depending on their value of how strong they are, and if they're a support or a flying or that kind of thing. So it gets real strategic. And this is kind of a RTS MOBA kind of style, sort of lanes, and you have to take the points, A, B, C, and defend off the waves that were coming. And I was really bad at it. I failed pretty quickly in the first 5 minutes because I wasn't strategic about how I split my units up between the three bases.
Yeah.
Because you have to multitask like crazy. But my friend next to me was really great at it. He lasted about 15 minutes because it's just a demo. It's a never-ending wave mode. It gets harder and harder. He was really strategic of separating a few scorpions with a warthog and a hornet or something at that base, because he knew what enemies were coming to that specific base. And even in just this little demo, it shows off how strategic you can really be with this game, and how you divvy up your points and how you divide your units and stuff.
So how does this game look?
It looks good, actually. It looks how I remember Halo Wars 1 to be. But if I turned Halo Wars 1 on now, it
because it's been a while. Like, how long's it been?
8 years, I want to say.
That's a long time for video games.
Maybe even more.
Yeah.
But no, this is turning out to be a really interesting game. I know that online,
it's rare that you get RTS for a console as well. So.
Right, and in saying that, I was playing with there were options that had at RTX. They had people playing it on computer and console.
Yeah.
I chose console. There was a free computer available, but obviously I'm going to play on the console.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play keyboard and mouse. But RTS are a big PC thing, but this is like you said, a rarity on a console. Controls are actually really well done. Transferring a keyboard and mouse to a controller can be pretty tricky, but I think they did it pretty well here. So,
I hope that's good news for future RTS games as well, to be ported to console, because they did it with Tropico 5 and it worked pretty well. And I'm also waiting for what's it called, Cities Skylines.
Oh yeah,
that's coming, I think so.
One thing that there is a way around transferring PC controls to a controller, and what I've seen with the latest Stardew Valley, they didn't have to do much, because to control the game on the Xbox, you have a mouse cursor that you control with the analog stick.
Yeah.
Rather than selecting menus and stuff, you have a mouse cursor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like that, but it's the easiest way around it, I guess.
Yeah, that's very sort of just, I don't know, the most simple way to do it.
Yeah.
Unless you redesign the whole control scheme to work for a console. So that's the way I'd prefer to do it, is for them to redesign it so you don't have like this cursor on the screen which looks like you're playing on a PC, because I'd rather avoid looking like I'm playing something on the PC.
Sure.
Just because I'm not.
Exactly. Anyway, Halo Wars 2 is a definite purchase. Zelda already purchased, but please, everyone play this game.
Yeah.
And it's going to work. People are going to buy Switches for this game.
Mm.
And I just wish Nintendo's presence at RTX was more focused on Zelda and more on the Switch rather than this 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
Fucking crit. Because they had
1-2 shit.
they had windows. You could see like one-way windows of you could see people playing 1-2 Switch in these rooms, and they were just looking at each other. They weren't looking at the console, and maybe because I didn't play it, I didn't understand it. But I just thought, what's fun about this? I don't know. They were playing. People were playing ping pong, and I thought, how are you doing it? I don't know. Anyway, that was RTX.
Not my type of game, really.
No.
No arms there.
Arms. It was there actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't really stop and look, surprisingly, but people were playing with controller rather than just motion.
Yeah.
So it's got capability for both. So maybe that's more of an option for me now.
Because I've been hearing people saying that, Nintendo's going all in with ARMS. These ARMS characters. What are their names again? Some stupid name I remember. But anyway, they're going to be the next. They'll be on the next Super Smash Bros. Roster, and
I like how they're creating new IP and new characters.
well, it's perfect for a Super Smash Bros. Game, I guess, because
Yeah.
they're fighters. But anyway, they need to bring Professor Layton before they do them.
Sure. RTX in wrap, another great year. It's only its second year in Australia. It's been RTX has been announced for another league in London, so they have the usual RTX
You
in
going to that
Austin.
one?
Maybe. No. I just they brought out all the right people from all the personalities from Rooster Teeth. Another disappointing thing is the signings. You have to pre-book your signing, and every day I forgot that I had to pre-book, and then I got on the last day, and all the signings were sold out. So
Oh well, it's just someone writing something for you.
you get to take a picture and shake their hand though.
Oh well.
Also, another disappointing thing: Greg Miller was there. Kind of funny.
Oh really?
Ugh. I saw him everywhere.
Really?
And then when I was in the Rooster Teeth, there was a big section of it dedicated to the Rooster Teeth store.
Yeah.
You buy merch and stuff, and he just popped in, and meeting people and stuff, and like,
Did you shake his hand?
no,
No.
I stayed far and away from him.
Was he just really sort of hypo and get
Yes,
into it? Yeah.
and like you could at the signing area, you could walk past and look at people getting signed, and like, he just had his shirt off. I'm just like, why?
Was everybody like in love with him?
The people who love him are in love with him.
Yeah.
But funny enough, the signings, like I said, they're all sold out. They're all sold out except for the ones that had Tim Geddes and Greg Miller in them. So,
Ouch.
what does that tell you?
I would have gone there. I love those guys.
No, I hate them. Also, Hideo Kojima was there.
Really? Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you ask him about the what's it called?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Oh, sure, because I got the chance to talk to him.
Did you get an exclusive for the 411 folks?
Death Stranding is coming to a gaming console near you in a future time that's yet to be announced.
You should have gone up to him and go to Hideo. Hideo, people are saying Death Stranding's a piece of shit. What do you say about that?
Probably punch me out.
Probably you'd
No.
probably get assassinated.
Well, there was a big part of it was Greg Miller did sit down, had a 2-hour interview there was a panel of 2-hour interview with Hideo Kojima. I caught none of it because I dislike Greg Miller that much. But
Well, I'm sure I hear lots about it when I listen to their podcast coming up.
Oh, you still do? Really? You still listen?
Yeah, I listened. I've got 3 I listen to.
Ugh.
One of them is kind of funny.
Anyway, they'll be talking lots about there's been a lot of news articles about the interview that they had because Hideo Kojima revealed a lot. He talked a lot about how he felt about the Switch, his reasoning behind some things about Death Stranding, just a big creative, just him and his creative processes, which seemed pretty cool. So, yeah,
Sounds good.
all ready for next year of RTX CD.
All right. Well, until next week, what are you going to be doing?
Until next week. Man, I don't know. Just a lot more work. I want to find more time for video games this week, please.
Well, that's
personally.
sort of what my question was directed at. Are you going to be playing any games this week?
Oh, I see. You could just said that.
That's what I was referring to. You should know.
Look, I'll try. I'll maybe sink some more hours in Pokemon if I can.
Pokemon, yeah.
That's better.
Well, during this week, I plan to complete Walking Dead Season 2. I really want to get back into Xenoblade if I can. What else is there? Well, I just found out the other day and completely forgot about it because I've just been overwhelmed with other things. Hitman, the complete first season, is now out on physical disc.
Is that a full price game?
I don't think so.
$50, $60.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look it up. It might be full priced.
I
don't know.
would. I know it's a full game, but it's been out for longer than a year now in one shape, one way or form. So
I reckon it's a bit reduced, maybe $80 or something.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
But still, this has been a game on my list for a long time that I've been wanting to get.
Yeah.
So but the problem is I don't feel justified getting another game yet because I've got so many that I haven't played yet. So I really just want to get through some of the ones that I've played, and then I want to pick up Hitman, and I just want to sink hours into that because I love Hitman. Really, the only one I've played is Absolution, but I was sold after that. Such a good game. Awesome. I'm so excited. I think there's 8 episodes, 8 chapters or something.
Don't know.
And calling it season 1, you obviously know there's another one coming. So there's more Hitman to come.
It's just a weird way of doing things.
It is weird. I just wish it was just a normal Hitman game. But anyway, I'm excited. I'm pumped. Another one that I'm actually getting a bit excited for that's coming is Ghost Recon Wildlands. I've been seeing a bit of gameplay for that.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. Because I remember I played Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, I'm pretty sure it's called, on the PC. That was fucking hard as fuck. And that was just way too difficult, and I really didn't... I disliked the entire stealth kind of thing. Like, I enjoy stealth, but when it's like that difficult and you have to control your other guys... I know this is a Ghost Recon game, so you still have to do that, but I'm pretty sure it's less based on kind of stealth. You can go in there, and if there's not many guys, you can take them all on. It's not like if you get shot once, you're dead, which is in the old games. You can take a few bullets this time. But if you shoot them once or twice, they're dead. So I think it works a bit like that. It's a bit more lenient in that kind of way. So that's what I'm excited for. And I really miss those kind of games where you can be a bit stealthy and, you know, really get your drone out, target you guys and everything, then approach it from different ways. That game lets you do it.
That's why I've always wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, that's a good one for it.
Because it just looks the ultimate sandbox of stealth.
Far Cry is another one that you can do that with as well. So... I don't know. I'm gonna see what reviews are like for it, and I'm gonna watch it. It's a game where you can watch quite a bit of gameplay without spoiling anything, really.
Because it's so open. And...
Yeah, you can do it any way you want. So I'm gonna watch quite a bit of gameplay, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and decide then if I'm gonna get it or not.
Nice.
So that's Hitman, Ghost Recon Wildlands. What else is coming? I'm excited for
Zelda,
but I'm not gonna be playing that. I'm gonna watch you play it. When you get it, I'll come over. Watch you play it.
Ruin it for me. I want that experience to be solitude.
I'm not going to ruin things.
Oh my god, I'm so close.
I remember I sat with you for about a couple of hours watching you play Fallout 4. Did I ruin it for you?
Yes.
It's another game I got to get back into.
Ugh, you say that, but...
Also, I haven't started Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I've had on my Xbox for a long time now.
Oh my god, you do have that.
Yeah. I started Far Cry Primal, didn't really get into it. I think I prefer the old, just with the guns. Just Cause 3, I got that. I didn't really get into that. Not that much. But yeah, finishing off Walking Dead Season 2, and that'll be it for me, I think.
Cool beans.
Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure, as always.
For sure.
And we'll see you all next week. Jake, any last words?
Yeah. So you know how like people like have experiences of like meeting celebrities.
Is this the last words?
Yeah. So like RTX is like I've met celebrities. Like, oh my god, that's Taylor Swift. I'm like, oh my god, that's James from Funhouse. Oh, it's a weird experience.
What?
I consider YouTube stars to be celebrities. Because I got like a little bit starstruck. Because I'm
always starstruck, even if it's like footy players and I see them. I'm starstruck. I'm starstruck with anyone. If I watch a YouTube video of some unknown person and then see them in real life the next day, I'm starstruck.
So people run into us and be starstruck.
If I yes, that's what would happen. If I listened to, or if I watched you in a video over and over again on YouTube, I'd see you the next day and go, oh my god, that's that guy from YouTube. Hey.
Yeah. But not many people think like that.
Maybe
At least
it's-
not yet.
Maybe it's just us.
Well, a sold out convention says differently.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got the
Jake,
release
any
date.
last words?
Well, that was my last words. You've already asked me that.